Hi there crafters, welcome to my channel. It's Louise with you today, and I'm sharing another scrapbook layout for my 3 Old 3 New series. Today's share features this old set of thickers, chalk paste and a stencil that's been in my stash for quite some time. New products are the thickers, the frames, and this Vicki Boutin 12x12 Pre background paper. So I have been working on sketches a little bit lately, and this is sort of just something I'm doing in my free time. I just grab a sheet of paper and I might sketch a bit of an idea. I had this idea based on using up sheets of old alphas, so I tend not to utilize numbers very much, and I will get to the end of an alpha sheet and I will have all these numbers left and nothing to use them on. So for this layout, I wanted to use at least the numbers 1 to 10, and I wanted to make sure that it was like a journaling or a top 10 sort of focused layout. So I chose the background paper. I really thought that this paper was super subtle, and I loved the way it sort of had that lighter sort of color. It wasn't so overwhelming, and I decided that I was just going to pop a little bit of plain paste over the top. So using the stencil, and if you have never used the Mintay chalk paste before, I actually really like this paste. You can see that just from a very light scoop, I'm able to spread that all around my background through my stencil, and it doesn't leak. So it doesn't actually, because of the sort of chalky texture to it, it doesn't ooze out of your stencil. So it is actually probably one of my favorite pastes I've ever used in the past. It does need, quite a bit of mixing, but you can also just activate it a little bit when you want to use it. I've had this bottle or this jar now for quite some time, and I'm still getting really good use out of it. So definitely enjoying that sort of chalk paste as opposed to like a texture paste that I might have used in the past. So off camera, I have printed out my journaling elements and trimmed my photos down, stuck them on a piece of background paper so that I can maneuver them a little bit more easily. I have chosen essentially 10 of my favorite things. So based on little photos that I've collected over the years, things like reaching 5,000 levels in Candy Crush, visiting a gelato store and tasting an ice cream, books, my Apple Watch, getting my hair done. I've sort of collated this layout as a bit of a 10 of my favorite things. So I have printed them out with my computer, and I am going to cut them up individually. Now you're probably thinking, okay, what on earth is she doing? She just screwed up that journaling. And I didn't want it to be super neat. I wanted it to have a little bit of texture. So distressing it a little bit, I've just screwed it up to give the paper a little bit of extra texture. And then I'm just using the distress ink lightly over the top just to give that a bit of a color, so it's not so white. I didn't really want it to really stand out on the background. I needed it to blend a little bit better, and this is the way that I thought I might do that. So I am going to actually cut those out off camera and attach them to the next to the numbers, and I'm going to use tacky glue to stick all that down, but I'm not going to show you any of that process of the layout because it's just far too tedious, and I'm sure you don't want to sit there. And if you're anything like me, I'm pretty short of time most days, so I like a short, sharp YouTube video that I can watch in a couple of minutes and go about my day. So in this case, I am lightly embellishing around my sort of photo area with some of the florals, and then I'm going to finish cutting the rest of these out as little banners. I'm using a combination of adhesive and tacky glue to stick them down so that I've got that sort of security of knowing that they're not going to fall off down the track. Now I definitely, once I'm happy with this, I think it looks really cute. I am pretty impressed with the basics of what I'm working on here. And the little numbers have this sort of ombre effect where they've got like a pink, a yellow and a teal. And I decided that I wanted to bring those colours into my background. So using lots of water with my watercolour palette, I'm just picking up some of those colours and dotting them around the page, thinking about where my elements are going to go. So again, a little combination of the pink, yellow and the teal. The splatters I wanted to be quite subtle, so when they dry you could almost miss them. They are just to tie in the colours of those alpha numbers and add a little bit extra in the background. Alrighty, so essentially the final stages of this layout are sticking everything down, popping the embellishments in place. I end up going with a border around the outside. Something happened and it looked a little bit unfinished once I'd stuck everything down. So I just pull out a gold gel pen and I just doodle around the outside in a very simple border, just to help that kind of finish the layout. So sometimes I find a border is beneficial, and then other times, you know, you're happy to leave a layout without a border. I also want to add a couple of little word stickers. So again, some descriptive elements just to tie in that sort of floral embellishments with the frames and the journaling portion of this layout. Essentially, I'm not using a title because I've got lots of words already, and I've got the smiles portion of the frames in that background. So it's really, just leaving this as more of a storytelling layout and a great way to use up sort of a group of photos that maybe don't have the same sort of theme but can still be used on a layout together. Okay, that is my 3 old 3 new share for today. I hope that you enjoyed that. Thank you so much for everyone who has been leaving comments and visiting my channel. I do really appreciate it, and I'm so glad that you're enjoying these videos as well. Comments are always welcome. I do appreciate them, and of course, if you haven't subscribed, please do.